extra challenge. So first, let's just lie on our back. Settle that sacrum in. So just rock it from right to left. And then you're going to lay your arms down and just tilt that pelvis. So bring that pubic bone closer to the navel. And then lengthen that whole lower part of the spine all the way to the tailbone down on your mat. Now when you do that, try to pay attention to your ribs. When you're lengthening out, don't let those ribs open up. Keep the ribs where they are, connected towards the pelvis, and try to lengthen rather than letting yourself come into an arch to get there. So keep those ribs in place and lengthen. Let's do 2 more just like that. Keeping the ribs down as you lengthen that tailbone away, getting that sacrum on the mat. Last time, bring the pubic bone towards the navel and then lengthen long all the way down to the tailbone. Now normally this is where we do this is on our backs in Pilates, but let's sit up and you can have your legs any way that is comfortable. And let's see if we can rock that pelvis. I'll do it this way. Rock that pelvis while we're seated, right? So think of bringing that pubic bone towards your navel. So it's going to curl you back behind your sits bones. And then again, think of reaching long, coming upright all the way through the crown. And then again, bring that pubic bone towards the navel. So you're starting that C curve. And then rotate the other direction. So you can feel, if you have your hands on the top of the thighs, you can feel how that is tipping the pelvis when we do that. And then bring that pubic bone down towards the mat. One more time. And roll back behind the sits bones. And then bring that pelvis upright all the way. If your weights are close by, just grab them now. You can have your legs either straight or bent. Doesn't really matter, whichever is more comfortable. So do one and then do the second one with the other leg variation and see if one makes it a little bit more doable for you. So you're just going to have your arms out in front while you're seated nice and tall. Now we're just going to roll down to the top of the sacrum. So not very big, and curl back up. And again, so curl, bring the pubic bone towards the navel, and then lengthen that sacrum onto the mat. Weight that sacrum, curl the spine up over, and then sit up nice and tall. Let's do 2 more like that. So curl back just to the top of the sacrum. Keep that sacrum weighted as you bring the spine forward and then all the way upright. This time we're going to go down to our waistband. Make sure those shoulders aren't hiking up. Keep those shoulder blades down the mat, down on the back, connected to the rib cage. And again, curl back. Come to that same spot, the top of the sacrum, and just go a little bit farther to the waist. Again, weight the sacrum, let the spine curl forward, and then upright the pelvis. Just 2 more like that. So again, start with that little curl, lengthen the whole sacrum down on the mat. Now come to the waistband, keep that sacrum weighted, flex the spine forward and curl all the way up, sit tall. Last one, roll halfway down, all the way to the waistband. Keep the sacrum weighted, curl the spine forward, and then upright the pelvis. Good. That's good. Now let's bend our knees and lie down on our backs. And again, let's have our arms over our shoulders. We're just going to do some shoulder curls, so not really far. So take your inhale as you nod your head, and exhale, just come up to the shoulders, reach the arms towards the feet. Make sure those shoulder blades are down the back, and come back. Don't let them go anywhere. Don't let them hike up. Don't let them externally rotate. Feel them right now. Have them connected to the rib cage, and then curl. And come down. We're just going to do 2 more like that. So inhale as you nod your head, slide towards the hips, and hold. And back down. And 1 more time. So inhale to start, and exhale, reaching those hands for your feet, and come back down. So this next time we're going to bring our legs up to tabletop, and then we'll do a little toe tapping. So inhale to start, and exhale to reach. Bring your legs 1 at a time, and let's stay on the same side. Reach down and up. Make sure you're working from the hip. And keep reaching those arms forward. Just 2 more. And last one. And let's change sides. Keep reaching those arms. Make sure your shoulder blades are still going down the back. Don't let them creep forward. Don't let those pectorals bring the shoulder blades to the front of the body. And 1 more. Bring those legs up. And roll down. Good. So the next one we're going to try to do double taps instead of single leg taps. So if you find that that's too much of a pull and it doesn't work, you start doing something different with your alignment. Just go back to the single legs, okay? So you're going to curl up. Now hold the abs where they are. Just come down as far as you can, without letting the lower back lift off the floor. So wherever that is for you, and if this is too much, do 1 leg at a time. We're just going to do 5, so 3 more. And 2 more. Keep pressing those ribs back towards the spine. Abdominals falling towards the mat. Last one. Let's bring those feet down and then roll back. Good. So we're going to come up again, and this time we're going to do single leg stretch, and you have the option of holding your weights or not. So this is what I'd like to do today. So we're going to curl up, and we're going to bring our legs up. And then as that arm, same arm and leg goes away. Okay, so ready? And reach long. So the whole side of the body is getting a nice long stretch. And reach. And reach. And reach. And reach. Let's do 3 more sets. Reach. And reach. And 2. And 2. Last one. And 1. Bring those feet down and roll down. Just roll your head right and left. We haven't been supporting that head, so that neck is holding that weight. Just let it come. Good. Let's do 1 more where we're going to have our legs here. And now we're going to have our legs straight up. Now when you bring that left leg out, bring the right arm out and come back to center. Other side, reach that leg away and arm away. Make sure the pelvis isn't rocking. We're trying to keep everything still except for the limbs that we're asking them to move. Keep stretching away. And reach. and reach. And reach. Let's do 2 more sets. Nice and long. Using those inner thighs to bring that leg back. Last one. And come down. Good. Roll to your side and come back up to seated. We're going to do one more ab variation like we started as far as going down slowly. And here again, you can, actually let's do it with knees bent since we did the last one with our back legs long. So hold here. We're going to think of going back, but this time we're going to go back with a rotation. Come down to the waist and then up to the center, right? Slowly add the rotation. Don't just do the rotation first. Let it be sequential and back up to center. Make sure you're all the way up on your sits bones when you come upright and all the way to center. Again, rotate and center. Let's do 3 more sets. Nice, easy rotation and up and rotate and up. Last 2 sets and rotate and up and rotate and up. Last set, rotate and up. Last side, rotate and up. Good. Let's just lay those weights down on the side and roll down, and we'll do a little bit of bridging. But before we do our bridging, let's just do a simple twist. So just have your legs close together and let those legs drop to the either side, right or left, it doesn't matter. And think of lengthening the sits bones towards the feet so that doesn't hike up. Reach it long and come back to center. Other direction, rotate over. Reach those bones for the feet so you lengthen through the hip and back to center. We're going to do one more and we're going to add the arms. So reach over to your first side and reach the sits bones for the foot. Now reach the opposite arm up over your head. Be careful that you don't bring that shoulder up. Keep it in the socket and bring it down. And then rotate your head towards that armpit and get a nice long stretch. And bring it all back together. And rotate to the other side. Reach those sits bones for your feet. Bring that arm close to your hip and then slowly carry it over to where you can keep that shoulder blade down and just move the arm bone. Feel that nice long length and then turn the head towards that armpit. And just reach in. Make sure that you're not opening that throat. Keep the back of the neck nice and long as you get that stretch. And then bring everything back to center. And we're ready to do a little bit of bridging. So have your feet in line with your sits bones, definitely no wider than your hips. Let's bring the arms over the chest, just without anything in them, and reach those arms up to the ceiling. Feel those shoulder blades hug around the frame of your body. Now pull those shoulder blades back down, and the arms will be in their socket. And reach up. Be careful not to bring the hands closer together as you reach. Keep them in line with the shoulder. And then pull the shoulder blades back down. One more time, reach up. And reach down. Spread your toes. Lift them off the floor and spread them and then put them back down. Press into your feet. Now pull the heels towards your buttocks Start that tip that we used in the beginning of class, bringing the pubic bone towards the navel. As you roll up, reach those knees away. So nice and long, all the way up. Try to get lifted without opening the ribs, right? So we're trying to lift by using the muscles in the front and in the back without arching. And then slowly lengthen all the way down. Again, remembering we're going all the way through the sacrum, the whole entire length. And again, start with that little tip of the pelvis. Bring it up closer. You should feel it right around the waistband. And then roll the rest of the way up the spine, reaching those knees far away. Lift those hips up as high as you can. And then roll down. Next, we're going to lift one leg up. So if you need to have a little more support, bring your arms down to the floor. We're going to challenge ourselves to do it without arms, but make sure the shoulder blades are down in the mat so those arms are in place and the back muscles can help you. Bring that pubic bone towards your navel. Make it as tight a curl as you can, and then roll up. Let's bring one leg up to the ceiling and flex that foot and point it. And flex and point. Let's just do 2 ankle rolls in each direction and reverse. And now with a pointed foot, you're going to go down to the knee and you're going to flex it up. Go down to the knee and flex it up. We're just going to do 5, so just 3 more. And flex it up. And I like to inhale and exhale on the return. See what works for you. Bend that knee and bring it down. And again, lift those hips up. And other leg up. And flex and point. And flex and point. 1 more of those. And then just a few ankle circles. And roll the other way. Now lift those hips as high as you can. Point it as you go down to the knee and flex to return. I like to inhale as I lengthen and exhale. Try to reach that leg as far away as you can. Last 2. And last 1. And bend that knee. Lift those hips up and hold as high up as you can. See if you can lift a little higher. And then roll all the way down. Good. All right, let's do our hundreds, and you have the option today, since we have our weights, to do it with your weights. That's going to be a lot more work for your shoulders. So if you stop and put them down halfway through, that's totally fine, because it's a very different thing than nothing in your hands, right? It's at the far end of the arm. So bring those legs into tabletop and hold your arms over your shoulders. Now what I want to say is, when you come up, you can have either your weights this direction or else external rotation, palms up. So try it and see which one is better for your shoulder. So knees together, inhale, exhale, come into your position, and in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 more gives us the halfway point. And if you want to change the direction of your hands to have your arms in a slightly different way, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 3, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, and come in. That's a whole different thing for your shoulders when you have those weights in your hands. So I want to do a little slight different variation today. So we're going to come back to that same little C curve, and you're going to bring your legs up. Now we're going to try to do our bicycle from here, balancing right behind our sits bones. So get in that position first, bring the knees up, stretch one leg away, trace your toes on the floor as you pull it back in. Reach, and reach, and reach. Let's do 4 more sets. And 3, and 2, and 1. Come back to the beginning, sit up, give those hip flexors a little break, and again, curl back, lift those legs. So this time we're going to go the opposite direction. You're going to slide first. Slide, slide. My left leg doesn't want to do it. Slide, 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 slide. One more. Last set. And come all the way up. Good. Let's do one more stretch. So just crisscross your legs, and you're going to just roll over. We're going to roll both directions without changing the leg cross, and come center. Now this time go the other direction. Keeping the shoulder girdle on the mat. And come back up. Switch which leg is on top. We're going towards the top leg first, in that direction of the knee. Take a few breaths. Try to really make them nice and full. Make sure you're not hiking that glute up. Reach it away. Come back to center. And now the other direction. Good. And then again, let's roll to our side. Since that one is really big on the hip flexors, let's do a hip flexor stretch. So you're going to just have your feet split, right? And you would be in a standing lunge, right? That's what we're doing. Bring your hands down and bring that foot back. Now, carefully push into that other foot and bring yourself up. Try not to let that knee go forward. Keep it over the ankle and just stretch that back leg back to get that nice. On the same side, reach the hand in front of you, the arm, externally rotated, palm up, reach it up towards the ceiling. Reach through the crown of the head and just lift the sternum. So not a big nod of the neck. Lift the chest up to the ceiling. Should give you a little more stretch in the front of that leg. Come all the way down and bring that in. Let's change our legs. So opposite leg is front. Turn those toes under. Come to your, in this position right here. Make sure your hip is nice and open. Then you're going to come up, reaching that heel. On this side, my heel doesn't go down. You're just going to come to where you can. Just be careful that you're not rotating the pelvis. Pelvis should be nice and square. Torso should be upright. Reach that same arm forward. Externally rotated palm up. Reach that arm up. Once you feel stable there, think of the crown of the head reaching up and then a little lift back. Nice length. Breathe really big breaths. Fill up the whole torso. And then come back down. And let's come to our side. So we'll start with clamshell and we'll do it. I think we did this last week. We're going to keep our pelvis and our shoulder girdle in line with each other. You're going to have your feet off of the floor. The heels are more in line with the spine and the knees are at an angle, not directly in front of you. And then you're going to open up as we always do, making sure you don't fall backwards. And then as you come back down, you're going to lift that foot. So it gives you a little bit more internal rotation. Externally rotate and internally rotate. Externally rotate and internally rotate. Make sure those hips are staying on top of each other. And you should have a little lift in the waistband area. And open and close and lift the foot. 2 more, I was not counting. And lift the foot. And last one. And lift the foot. Good. Let the bottom leg be on the floor, so let it rest. It's not up anymore. And take the weight in your hand. Let that leg be nice and long on top. And reach and down. So just lateral right in line with the hip. And down. And reach. And reach. 5 more. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Good. And now just bend that knee a little bit and bring that leg a little behind your hip. And again, you're going to lift and lower. You don't have to use your arm. Just keep it a little bit behind your hip. It's a little different work. And 3. And 4. And 5. 5 more. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Good. And bring that leg down. Let's today do our leg circles from the side lying position, which is different than when we're on our back. It feels different and the different muscles have to work because of the increase in gravity. So let your leg be there as a kickstand so that you have a little more platform for security and for balance. You can use also your front hand to hold you. You're going to bring that leg forward, reach it up, bring it back, and bring it forward. Reach it up, bring it back, and bring it forward. If you want to add that flexed foot with the pulse, and then lift it up and around. Bring it forward, flex and pulse, and then reach it up and come forward and pulse and lift. Let's do 4 more. Flex, pulse, and lift, and flex, pulse, and lift. 2 more. Flex, pulse, and lift, and flex, pulse, and lift. Good. And then just stretch out that hip any way that you like to. I don't want to do too many on that side or I'll for sure forget what we've done. So we'll just say that's enough on that side today. So stretch that hip and then roll to your other side. So just remember when you change sides, you're trying to make sure that your shoulder girdle and your pelvic girdle are in line. So the spine is nice and long, no curvature. And you're going to have your legs on top of each other, bent. Make sure that top hip is not falling towards the waist. Reach it away. We're going to lift our feet off the floor today, right? So then the knee opens, and as it comes down, the foot comes up. The knee opens. As it comes down, the foot comes up and open and close and lift and open and close and lift and open. And close, just 5 more. Open and close and open and close. Last 3, making sure you're not falling back. Challenge that opening without letting yourself drift back. Last 1 and back. Good. Come down. Have that weight in your hand. Have that leg be straight in line with the hip. Ready? And reach up and down. Reach and down. So really think of reaching that hand away as you're reaching it towards your foot. Give a little more action. 6 more. Reach and reach. And long leg. Really reach that leg away so that it's not just a dead weight. I think we have 2 more. And last 1. Good. And then bring that weight down. You can use your hand for support. We're going to go into those. First, we're going to do our swinging. We did swinging, or did we not? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember if we did leg swings and circle or just circle. I think we might have just done circle. So let's reach the leg forward, reach it up, and bring it to the back, and bring it forward, reach it up, and bring it to the back. Reach it forward, bring it up, and bring it to the back. Next, let's flex that foot and pulse, and then bring it up and around. Flex and pulse, and bring it up and around. Flex and pulse, bring it up and around. Flex and pulse, bring it up and around. Let's do 3 more. Up and around. Flex, pulse, up and around. Last 2. Flex, pulse, up and around. Last 1. Flex, pulse, up and around. Good. Hopefully I didn't screw that up for you guys. So just stretch out that hip. Good. Make sure you have a nice stretch. And let's come onto our bellies. We'll do again a little bit of upper back extension. So just come down and externally rotate your legs just a little bit, just to get the weight off of the kneecap. And have your elbows be about the height of your ears, and the hands are just gently on the floor. So not all the way in front of your forehead. Let's keep them a little bit wider. And see if you can bring your pubic bone towards the mat by using the lower abdominals rather than just squeezing the glutes, right? So just feel what that feels like. Shoulder blades down the back. Reach the back of the head a little bit up towards the ceiling, and then lift a little bit off the floor. And come back down. Think of the elbows when you do that. Lift the head. Think of the elbows widening rather than closing in. So we keep that shoulder girdle in the back, nice and wide. And down. Next, you're going to hold your weights. And if you have 2 different sets and you want to use your lighter set, go right ahead. You're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it from here. So you're going to bring the shoulders down, reach the back of the head towards the ceiling, keep that pubic bone in the mat, stay centered, and come up. And come down. And again, reach those hands long, lift the back of the head, And then reach the torso forward. And come down. And one more time. Reach. Now lift those legs. And come down. We're going to do 2 more like that. Reach the arms, lift the back of the head, reach the legs and the head away from each other. And down. And one more. Ready? Get that pubic bone down, tailbone long. Back of the head, reach the crown of the head and the feet away from each other. And come down. Good. Let's come back onto our side for a little bit more work in that direction. And we're going to have both of our legs together. So before we had one leg lifting, we're going to lift both legs up and bring them down. And lift both legs up and bring them down. And again, if you want to use your weight, you can. It's not essential. Let's do 3 more for 8. And 2. And 1. Good. Today I want to do hip work that's a little bit different. So I'll show you first and then we'll you'll tell me whether it's doable for you. So you're just going to sit with your legs splayed a little, right? And you're going to have your hand pretty much in line with your hip. And what you're going to do is you're going to reach this other arm up so that the shoulder girdle is nice and wide. You're going to use the lower leg and the hand to come up. So this is what it looks like. You're just coming to here. So now the weight is on this leg and the shin, right? Don't let that shin come off. And then you're going to just come down again. So see what that feels like for you. So reach the top arm up. So we're trying to get one long line from fingers to fingers. And then lift that hip up. And then come back down. Now the next time when we're up there, we're going to attempt to lift our top leg up a little bit off the other leg. Doesn't need to be a high lift. It's just to add extra weight to that bottom hip that's doing the work. Ready? Come up. Now really see if you can lift that leg. And now keep that leg up and tap the hip down. And bring the hip up. And tap the hip down. And bring the hip up. Tap down and up. Let's do 2 more. Tap down and up. Last one. Tap down and up. Bring that hip back down. Bring the foot down. Let's change over to the other side. So the legs are just right, comfortable with each other. The hand is pretty much in line with the hip, but stretched out. The other arm is reaching up away, right? So press into that lower leg and your hand and come up. The leg is down. We're not picking that leg up yet. And come down. We're going to do 2 more like that. Just get used to what that feels like. And I think my knee is on the floor. Up. And back down. Next time we're going to lift that top leg. So come to that position first. Make sure that lower leg is really pressing into the floor and tap that hip down and bring it up. Tap that hip down and bring it up. Tap that hip down. 2 more. And down and lift. 1 more. Down and lift. Come all the way down. Good. So that's a good work for the shoulder. It's also good work for the hip because then the hip has to do that deceleration and acceleration. So that's a good thing. I want to come to quadruped. So we won't be using our weight for this. We're going to come to quadruped, and you're going to spread those fingers and have your knees a little bit wider than, don't have them so touching each other, have them almost like in line with your hands, maybe a little less. Push into the floor, but lift the chest away. Make sure the head isn't dropping down or lifting up. Keep that crown of the head reaching long. And you're just going to rock forward and rock back. Just a nice movement in the hips. Rock forward and rock back. I'm going to do 6 of these just to warm up those hips. And forward and back. I think we have 2 more. Forward and back. And forward and back. Now come to center. This time we're going to make a circle with our hips. We normally think about our pelvis. This time you're going to leave your spine long, but you're going to shift to the right, sit back, shift to the left, and come forward through the hands. Rotate. We'll just do 4 in each direction. And rotate. And rotate. So come to the center and reverse your direction. Make sure those shoulders are still supporting you. Shoulder girdle nice and wide. And let those hips rotate. 2 more. Nice circle with the hips. And 1 more. We're not done with quadruped, so if you want to shake out your wrists or stretch them in any way, go right ahead. Because we're going to do a little more work for our hips, but from quadruped. So anything that's good for you. Now do make sure that when you're in quadruped, no matter what class it is, that you're not just putting the weight into the back where the wrist is. Make sure you have that spread out through your palms so the weight is distributed rather than just falling back. So that's really important. So here we go. Nice lift of the chest, long through the back. Bring one leg to the straight back to the floor. And then bring it to the side. And bring it back. Bring it to the side. So you're tapping the floor when you come back straight. And side. And back, and side, and back. 2 more, side, and back, and side, and back. Now side, and back, and lift, and lower. Side, and back, and lift, and lower. And side, and back, and lift, and lower. 2 more, and up, and down, and side, and up, and down. Now just bend at the knee with the foot flexed. Keep the pelvis square to the floor and pulse up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now bring that leg back to that side position, but make little circles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And bring that down. Your abs should have been working pretty hard just to keep that torso still while you're working. Again, if you want to stretch the wrists before we do the other side, go right ahead. If you want to do wrist circles or anything that's good for you. And we're going to come back. Spread those shoulder blades wide. Externally rotate the arms. So the eye of the elbow should be between your thumb and your index finger. Push into the floor, but lift that chest away. Bring that opposite leg back. Bring it to the side and tap it down. Bring it to the side and tap it down. Bring it to the side and down. I think we did 6, so we have 2 more. And side and down, and side and down. Now side and back, and lift and down. And side and back, lift and down. And side and back. Be careful when you lift that you're not dropping your belly to get higher. Keep yourself connected. And out. 2 more. Lift and lower. And side and back. Lift and lower. Side and back. Bend that knee. Flex that foot. Pulse it up. 4, 5 more. Keeping the pelvis square. And come down. So just come off those wrists. Shake them out. So you have different ways you can work. You can, if you need to stretch your fingers, this direction is a good direction for stretching the fingers without coming up too high. Just stretching the wrists in the opposite direction, right? We have these muscles contracted, so we want to stretch them out a little after that work. Good. So let's do a little bit of rolling in the ball. I haven't done that in quite a while. So make sure you're at one end of your mat so you have enough room to get back there. And you can hold in any fashion that works for you. You can hold in the back of the legs if that's what's better. You can hold in front. You can hold all the way down to the shin, to the ankle bones, whichever works for you. But you're going to start, even though we are a little bit behind our sits bones, you're still going to start with that nice lifted position and leave the toes off the floor and find your balance point. Make sure the shoulders aren't falling forward. Roll them down. Now again, think of bringing that pubic bone towards your navel to increase that curve and come back up. Each one try to get a little bit smoother, a little bit more down the midline. Do not let that neck open. Keeping that curve. Let's do 3 more. And 2. And 1. Good. I'm going to move myself back just a little bit. And so now, reach one leg up and bring it down. And one leg up and bring it down. And both legs up. Now left and right. And both. Good. Now you're going to see for yourself where your balance is, right? If the legs can only be here, that's good. Otherwise, you're going to come straight and bring them down and come up. One more time. Curl behind the sits bones. Bring the legs up and straight. And down. And forward. So today I'd like to do some open leg rocker. So that again, if your hamstrings don't let you open all the way, you're going to do your open leg rocker like this. You're not going to try to do the other and create some, snapping action. It's not good. But no matter what, no matter if you reach your feet or if you don't, start in your seal and then open those legs to whatever length they're going to be. Reach that spine up. You're going to bring the pubic bone towards your navel, over, and again, try to come all the way nice and long. So we're behind our sits bones, but we're trying to lengthen the spine when we come to that balance point. Let's do 4 more. Trying to really keep in the middle. And roll. And up. Last one. Roll. I'm going to do 1 more because I forgot to count. Roll. And up. Good. And come down. So I'm going to face this way. So you're going to be a little bit back on your hands. Your feet are going to be with your toes touching and your heels lifted. And you're going to do what Sharon used to call the can-can. You're going to go right on the hip, left on the hip, stretch those legs and bring them around. You're going to go left and right, straighten those legs and bring them around. Go right and left, straighten up and over, and left and right, and straighten up and over. One more set. Right and left, straighten up and over, and then left and right, and straighten up and over. Good. Let's sit with our legs in front of us and open. They don't have to be super wide. You're just going to let your hands be on your thighs. You're going to sit up tall, and then you're going to just curve forward. Keep that pelvis perpendicular to the mat. We're just using the spine. And then slide back up. Just two more like that. Just inhale and slide forward. Making sure you're keeping that pelvis nice and square. And one more time. Forward. And come back. Now bring the feet together and flex the feet. Make sure they're touching. Bring the arms to the side. The elbows should be about the height of your shoulders. The palms are facing your ears. We're just going to do rotations. So sit as tall as you can and think even taller as you rotate and pulse. And pulse, pulse. Reach up to the crown of the head. Pulse, pulse. And center. Pulse, pulse. Just two more sets. Pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse. Last set. Pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse. And come down. Now do spread your legs a little wider. We're going to do our saw. Now if you still want more work with your arms, you can actually do the saw with your weights. That's up to you. I'm going to try it. Just be brave. Sit up nice and tall and rotate, pulse, pulse, reach that back arm and come center. So the front arm is external, the back arm is internal, so we're still rotating that bone in the socket. So careful as you go. Inhale, exhale, inhale, center. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, center. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, center. Rotate, last one. Up and center. Pulse, pulse, and up and center. Good. I'm going to check the time, but I wanted to do a little bit of side planking. We have 2 minutes. All right. So we're going to have our feet in that Egyptian style unless you prefer to have your feet on top of each other. Do know that if full side plank is too much for you, you can do this same thing from your knees. So you don't have to do it full plank. But to do it full plank, we're going to get ourselves in position so the knees are bent. So when you go up, they have a place to straighten to help you get up. Ready? You're going to come up. Now what you're going to do, this is similar to what we were doing before with tapping that hip down. As you come down, tap the hip and back up and reach over. We'll only do 3. Tap the hip and up and over. Tap the hip and up and over. Rotate towards the floor and come to a plank position. Now you're going to lift that back, right leg up, and it's going to pulse up as you stretch that other calf back. Put it down. Other leg, up, up, and down. Reach, up, and down. Reach, up, up, and down. Two more. Up, up, and down. Reach, up, and down. Last one. Up, up, and down. Up, up, and down. And come down. So I need to turn myself around for the next side. We're just going to come back again. So feel your torso nice and long, so don't let it sag, right? Press into the arm and lift that chest away. And we're going to come up into our side plank. And now you're going to reach up, come down. Look at that hand as that hip taps. Come up and over and hip down. Last one, up and over, hip down, come up, rotate into your plank. Let's just hold that plank just for a little bit. Just hold, spread the shoulders. Make sure those ribs are reaching for your spine so it doesn't sag towards the floor. And then put those knees down nice and wide and sit back. Nice and wide so that you can keep yourself long. Now here it's really easy to just collapse. Try to still lift that spine, activate those hips a little bit, and reach those arms across your mat, reaching the hand one direction and the hip the other. Nice long stretch. Come back to center and rotate the other direction. Again, reach that hand and hip away from each other. And come back to center and sit yourself up. So thank you, ladies, for being here today.
Thank you.
Hope that was good for you.
Thank you very much. Great. It was a hard class.